Okay, so we got Starlink up today. That's our better internet, and I'm going to go ahead and try and make a video to show you our next little stage here. The progress so far, I guess, because I don't think we've reached the second stage yet. It's still in its infancy here, but all right. So back to starting from this part of the lawn. I've got all the stuff pulled up out of here and grass planted. We'll see how that goes. This is needing to be fixed, manicured and filled in. I've done the same thing down here. Requires a lot of digging. The stuff that comes up that's shooting off with all these stickers it goes down deep, and it's got big fat roots down there, like that big around. We got, of course, a blossoming cherry tree. We got a wisteria tree. This is called a red bud. They look really pretty when they're full grown. Planted the lilac here. We've got a rhododendron and what was this? Oh, that's a dogwood. That's the pink dogwood. And then this is looking nice. This is starting to bloom a little bit out here. Got some lavender. I can never remember the name of that. I always have to go, hey, Kathy, what's that B word? Lavender, that pampas grass. That's a rhododendron that Kathy's been complaining about the size of for the last 2 years, 3 years. We found out it's a dwarf. It's a dwarf lavender, so it's only going to get like 3 feet high. But this is this side of the house. I'm probably going to take out that. We're not quite sure what it was. Kathy got it from a friend of hers. Still got plenty more to do. I need to dig this out again and put in compost, that, or whatever they call it, that brown mulch, mulch stuff. Over here, you should have seen the amount of stuff I've grabbed out of here. This was just a wall of stuff. It's hard to tell, man, but there's piles up here. A lot of burning. Limbed this tree down closer to the ground. These branches coming off that weren't doing a whole lot of good. Still got to drag them out of there. Just did that the other day. This is a huckleberry tree bush that we went all the way to Issaquah to buy. I don't know how well you can see that, but or to steal. We stole that out of the ground, and so far it's doing well. Then I did the same thing with this tree. I limbed the bottom of it. You couldn't see through it at all. It was just a blanket, a wall of stuff. I planted grass back here. The blackberry bushes, you can see I've taken a break on that. That is just, there's a big, they dumped a whole bunch of logs and stuff in the middle of that. There's a lot of rotted debris that composes about half the height of that blackberry bush. And then the grass, kind of a silly idea. I just figured plant some good grass right in the middle, and then see what happens. See if it can seed and kind of help seed the rest of the lawn. I don't know if you remember or not, but there was Scotch broom, big piles back here. There was Scotch broom all the way back into the forest. I cleared that out. I have until the end of summer before it starts seeding, I guess. See how it's flowering right now, the yellow stuff? That's all Scotch broom. Gotta take care of that, gotta get rid of that. It looks so much better without it being there, though, be able to actually see the forest. The problem I'm having is trying to figure out what to plant there in place of it, because Scotch broom is so invasive, it'll just come right back, but we'll figure something out. This was all Scotch broom through here, under and around these trees. I got that cleared out. Still got a lot more burning to do. All this needs to come up. All this has to be hand pulled. I am trying to get Kathy out here to help me. She's just not much for yard work, but it is a lot for one person, I tell you, man. It's just everywhere. It's all in the grass. It's Scotch broom, I guess, imported from Europe by accident or something, or they thought it was going to be some pretty plant in California or something, and it just freaking has taken over. I pulled a lot of this stuff out over here. I'm going to plant grass here within the next probably 6-7 days. I'd like to get more of this stuff out, though. And again, hopefully the grass will spread from here and kind of help seed the rest of the lawn once we get the rocks out. And that's been kind of the big problem, is getting the rocks out. So I've been slowly but surely getting the rocks out. And what I'll do is I'll separate them into piles of large, medium, or small, and then up against the house here, where we have all these prickly weeds, I'm going to go ahead and just fill it in with rock and then I take the dirt that I pulled out of there, and I've gone back and filled in where the rocks have come out with that dirt. It's been a whole deal. You can see I kind of use this weed barrier stuff around here, trying to make sure that this stuff doesn't come back. We'll see how well that works out, but a little bit more grass planted there. I don't even know what to call all this stuff that we've been pulling, except maybe like biomass. Like a lot of just plant matter and stuff that makes for really nice fires, but a little creepy. You got to stand out here with the hose and just be kind of amazed at how bright it gets or how hot it gets. We have this stuff inundating our lawn too. This, I don't even know what you would call it, but this stuff has been coming in, so I kind of tested my hand at pulling it out. It's kind of a bitch to do, but we got another weed barrier, this time corrugated sheet metal, that we're going to put along the side of all the way down. Just all the way down to keep that stuff in its place and make sure that we have a yard here. All this is going to take all summer. I think by next summer it'll start kind of coming together, but it's definitely one of those things that's you do as you live, I see you've got a few more trees. Got a coral bark maple there. That's just an apple tree that's flowering. We dug up a couple of lilacs. We have that. I think that's called forget-me-nots. And then a creeping Jenny. We're going to plant that as kind of a ground covering. Strawberries, we have not bit the bullet yet and bought a raised platform, a raised bed to plant those in. We just need to do it. Costco's got one for like $140. Probably just gonna do it. But let's see what else I can show you. This area over here has been just a bitch. I keep coming back to it every couple of weeks to find that more prickly stuff has grown up. So I just keep digging it up and pulling out those roots, and then I figure that as soon as we're done, Kathy wants us to stay here. I'm not sure, but you can already see that that's a garden. That's a rock garden right there. Probably plant a couple of azaleas, probably these guys, maybe one on each side. We've got a purple lilac here. We're not quite sure where to put that long term, but this is coming out here pretty quick. That trailer belongs to Kathy's daughter's husband or fiance, and then we'll be able to do some stuff in that area there, kind of figure out what we're going to do with that. I'm still kind of just got started on this. Same deal. It's got this prickly stuff that pops up that, again, the sale of the house was contingent upon getting all that pulled out, and it just keeps coming back. This, I forget what it's called, but we're going to probably put this one there, maybe something in between. Not positive, but I'll show you on the side here. We got some bamboo that we're going to be trying to be careful about planting, because this stuff will take over your lawn. For now it's just here. And we have a couple of deals for her herb garden. Kathy's wants an herb garden super bad. We're going to put in pavers here for this. Pavers, those kind of uneven or the weirdly shaped pavers, and we'll put gravel in between them and underneath it, kind of make it all solid over there for our garbage area. And then all this will be rock garden, because again, all the prickly stuff that comes up. This is a hole that was, these are the blueberry bushes. This is Bernard's that he took great pride in before he died, and this is store-bought. Still like Bernard's better, but they're doing pretty well. This, when they ran electricity out to the shop, they didn't fill in this hole, so I've got to, it'll take 15 minutes to just get this. I've just not done it. In order to do it, I need to go in here and dig out all that stuff to make sure that doesn't rut bigger and come back stronger, because you really have to dig down to get it out. It's a pain. And this, I figure I'll give it a couple more weeks, and I'll pull out the stuff again, and then we'll pull out the dirt and put in rocks, just so that that way when it pops back up, it's just isolated by itself, surrounded by rock. We can just spray it with our vinegar weed killer that seems to work very well, despite being just a homemade option. It's either that or we'll plant grass. I mean, we can always just plant grass too. Like, I'm not sure that we'd have to just tear the grass up again if that stuff kept coming back. Let's see. Oh, this area back here, I started pulling out Scotch broom just left and right. I'll go in and cut what I can, and I'll come back with a chainsaw and cut the pieces that were too big. And I'll pull out what I can while I'm in there. But there's just a massive amount of stuff back here that the farther you get back, the more you realize there's ferns, there's a ton of blackberry bushes, and just tangly, twiny stuff that gets all over everything. But this was all Scotch broom. All through here this is just a whole bunch of Scotch broom. Yeah, it's gonna take a little bit to. Definitely not gonna burn all that in one session, but I'm gonna drag that out. But found an actual decent looking tree in there. I'm gonna hopefully unchoke. And I went back and I clipped blackberry bushes as far back as I could get, but I'm kind of worried about stepping on a bee's or a wasp nest or something, because that's just my luck. I don't know if you remember that I did that twice in the same summer. Got stung a lot of times. But this is all going to come out. We have to eradicate the Scotch broom, at least chop it all down and do our best to try and not have it just be so pervasive, you know, trying to at least fight it the best that we can. Some of these trees are coming out just to thin that area up a little bit. I've limbed back one to help expose a little bush that we discovered. Didn't know that was even in there. It's covered by trees. It looks like hell because we're still deciding like when to plant stuff and where to plant it at. Some of the stuff we want to plant like probably in the fall, if not even next spring, you know, in that area across the way. But the house is looking good. It needs to be bleach cleaned. I did that a few years ago. I did that again. Kathy's car, she's gonna get that fixed, that Honda there. She's made the decision to go ahead and bite the bullet and get that fixed. And yeah, I guess that's it. But I tell you, it's nice out here. It sure is quiet. The amount of traffic that we get, car traffic, is so minimal. We only have 2 houses down this way, and I think one of them they just don't really leave the house because we see like a car every once in a while. Like there's a car. There's somebody's leaving. It's just quiet and very private down here, and that being the reason why we didn't cut out that last limb. We kind of wanted to make sure there wasn't a see-through area right there, maintain our privacy. But I'm kind of, I don't mean to extend this video into a whole bunch of nothing, but I also want to be able to look back someday and take a look at this and go, oh yeah, that's right, that's what it looked like. Because we do have pretty big plans for this property. Oh, we hung some lights that are kind of nice at nighttime. You know, I'll be out here putting around, and these lights really, it's almost like an open invitation to come on out, guys. Everything's lit up. This is part of your property. It just makes you, it pulls you to the outside to kind of do stuff out here. We want to get a hot tub someday. We're going to put it right in there on the slab. That'll look nice, be able to look out and have that lighting, and of course have that privacy. Got to figure out what to do with all those pallets. Kathy actually brought those pallets home when she worked at the paint store. We had a point of bringing them home with her truck that she drove back then so that we could do something with them at some point. Still not quite sure what, but it's perfectly good wood. I'm saying that in the same tone as Kevin would. We'd be dumpster diving, and Kevin, every time we ran across some paper, what, he'd be surprised. He expressed surprise. Well, that's perfectly good paper. He loved him some paper. Anyway, this swing set, probably gonna make that into a chicken coop. That's what we're thinking, man. We had chickens over at Gary's. They added a lot of personality to the lawn. They're fun little dudes, and we think we can at least use that as a basis for a chicken coop. Oh, and that, I don't know if you see that big ugly deal right here. That is for planting the bamboo in when we get around to it, so that way it doesn't spread and cover. The only question we have now is where to put that at. Otherwise, that will take over your lawn, you know. All right, that's it. Just wanted to show you around and keep this on YouTube so we can go back to it someday and be like, oh yeah, that's when everything was a damn mess and we were still scrambling and trying to figure out where stuff was going to go and what we're going to do. But all right, I love you. I'll talk to you soon. Hope everything's going well there. Take care. Bye-bye.